Welcome to the GCN Tech Show. We've taken the show on tour this week to this wonderful lake in Friedrichshafen, Germany.
It's not how you pronounce it, it's Friedrichshafen. And we're here because it's Eurobike, so this show's going to be a Eurobike special. Doesn't the Bodensee look beautiful behind us? So, in addition to that, we've also got the new Shimano group sets, as well as a look at the new Merida Sculptura, and much, much more.
First up, let's take a look at last week's poll. Now, I'm not going to slide my laptop in. I've got my phone this week, so we're obviously on tour. So last week we asked, how much money are you prepared to spend to gain an advantage on your rivals? Up to £500, up to £1,000, up to £3,000, or no limit?
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit, yeah.
Vote.
Vote. So the most popular answer, 48% of the votes, was the lowest amount, only up to £500. How much are you prepared to spend to gain an advantage on
All I'm going to say is most of the audience have clearly never been dropped in multiple GCN videos, and it shows.
Yes. Anyway, I suppose we should maybe go to us at Eurobike. Lovely.
Welcome to Eurobike. We've made it from the lake to the show. Come on, Alex, let's go find some hot tech.
Oh, well, hold up. Before we go, we're going to pick out, well, the hottest tech we can find, the lightweight, the weirdest, the most aero, just all the good stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, right, go on then, pedal then.
Right.
Just on the Shimano stand, and I'm really excited because I've managed to get my grubby little hands over the new Ultegra. So this is the first time I've actually seen it. We only managed to get the dura-ace version of the new group set at GCN Megabase, but here is the Ultegra, and seeing it sort of in person, the biggest thing that stands out is the finish on it. So the new dura-ace has a real glossy finish, whereas Ultegra is like a sort of more matte satin finish on it. But it still looks very, very smart. And here's actually the power meter crank. Other thing you've got here is you can see the chain for the Ultegra specific chain, like the previous generation of the group sets. It's the same shape, the same design as the dura-ace chain, just a little bit heavier. And the big difference there is that the pins that hold the links together are solid, whereas they're hollow pins on the dura-ace chain. The shifters, I mean, they are like the exact same shape. And then on the rear mech, we've got here, it's a bit bigger than the dura-ace rear mech, but the capacity on it, 37 tooth, so you can have a massive cassette on the back there. Another interesting thing is the weight here. So I've been told that the weight of the rear mech on dura-ace is 162 grams. The Ultegra one is 262 grams. So quite a bit heavier, but it's still not double the weight, and it's, well, nearly double the price. So I think Ultegra is what I'd go for. Unfortunately, still no sign of the mythical rim brake version of either Ultegra or dura-ace. We've been told that they are happening, but there's none here. It's just disc brake stuff. It's a shame. I was quite looking forward to seeing the rim brake one.
Now, 3T have released something called the Dream Box, and it sells for €20,000. But it's more than just a box. It's like the ultimate garage and storage location for you to keep your bike nice and secure. And in addition to that, it has like a door and a drawer to remove your bike in and out easily, which is actually remote activated. Would you believe it? So in addition to that, it even includes water bottles and the cages themselves. Fantastic.
Over on the Pro stand, and I've seen something particularly aero, this is the new Pro Vibe Evo cockpit. So it's a fully integrated bar and stem, and it's designed to be used on sort of any modern bike that has integrated internal cables. So all the cables route through the bar, through the stem, and then through the headset if you need them to, into the bike. It's very smart, very neat, but it's got some very cool features that I've just not seen on this kind of cockpit before. The first one I've got to tell you about is the grips. So you don't have to use bar tape on this. They've actually designed these proprietary grips which fit onto the drop section, and the advantage of these is, well, that they're just more aerodynamic because they're shaped as so, and then they also allow for really neat integration of the sprint shifter. So you can see there's a little hole there, and then there's the sprint shifter button. Proper cool. But if you don't want to use the grip, you can wrap the bar as normal. So I'm really interested to hear what you guys think of that. Would you rather use a sort of grip, I mean, it's a bit like a mountain bike handlebar, isn't it, sticking a grip on, or use traditional bar tape? It's quite an interesting thing. We've not really seen this on the road yet. And then on the top section as well, that's interesting because they don't want you to wrap the top section of the bar. That makes it less aerodynamic and adds unnecessary weight, unnecessary bar tape. But in order for the top of the section of the bar not to be sort of slippy when you've got your wrists on it and stuff, or if you're just holding it with your hand, there's actually like a rubber insert attached onto that to make it a bit more tacky. And then on the top section as well, there's another integrated kind of hidden socket for a climbing sprint shifter to be located at the back there. Really neat and tidy, really cool. I like it a lot. And then you've got the integrated mount for whatever head unit you're using. And then because this is a product designed to be used on kind of any bike, they've got special spacers, and they've kind of thought of everything to make it fit to, you know, because all bikes are kind of different, but also different steerer tubes as well. So 1 1/8 steerers and 1 1/4 inch steerers, that'll be accommodated by this setup. The bar is available in a whole different range of stem lengths and widths, so you can check those out on Pro's website. But in the narrowest setting, the 38 centimetre one, which is what I'd go for, it's the most aero, it's 390 grams according to Pro, so pretty light as well. Pro's also updated its really popular Stealth saddle, and this has come about through working with the team DSM, which Pro sponsors, and in particular the rider Soren Kragh Andersen. Now, he had difficulty with the standard Stealth saddle because they found that he sort of naturally just rocks on the saddle a little bit. His shoulders go and then his hips move quite a bit laterally from side to side. And so they tweaked the saddle and came up with this, which is called the curved Stealth. And you can see it sort of offers a bit more support from side to side. The profile's quite a bit different. It sort of extends longer down the edges of the saddle, and he just found, you know, that kind of rider, he moves like that, he got on with it really well. Then the interesting thing is Pro tells me that the women's DSM team tried it, and they've kind of all moved onto that saddle, and it's been very popular with the women's team, which is particularly interesting. So they've sort of serendipitously found a saddle design that a lot of women get along with, and it's available in both a carbon and an alloy rail, and in 2 widths as well, 142 millimeters wide or 152 millimeters wide, depending on how wide your sit bones are. But yeah, nice looking saddle. Quite cool to be able to see the two side by side and see the slight difference in shape. There's loads of really cool stuff on the Shimano stand. So Shimano's celebrating its centenary, 100 years of Shimano. And so we've got all this like retro loveliness on the stand. So you've got this Jan Jansen bike, the original dura-ace on there. It's beautiful. Although, not an original chain I've spied. That's a common thing. The chains are really hard to get by. Like, if you've got an original Shimano dura-ace chain from back in the day, you know, get it on an auction site, it's worth a fortune. And then we've got all this beautiful sort of 25th badged up and 25th anniversary of dura-ace stuff in here. It's just, oh, it's really nice. And then over here I've spotted as well, they've got holograms. Cool. Check this out. It's just a simple display stand to just talk about like caring for your bike and just bike maintenance and stuff. But they've just got these really cool little displays with like holograms in. It's just really cool. Just look at this. Holograms are the future.
So I was just walking past this array of shoes that we've got here, and something caught my eye. Look at these. I mean, the colour is incredible. If you could sum me up in the colour of a shoe, it would potentially be this. This is the Sidi Shot 2 shoe, and has been used by some pretty special riders, including this guy next to me. Look at that. Richard Carapaz, Olympic champion. Although he didn't use this colour, but I prefer it. Nice. Check out all of these cool bikes. We're at a company called Revolt, who manufacture, well, design, quite possibly the coolest looking e-bikes that I've ever seen. I mean, look at these things. Maybe not specifically designed for all-out speed, but I mean, let's face it, who cares about speed when you look this good on a bike? So let's take a quick look at this bike, because it's kind of like a real retro modern theme. We've got a rear hub drive motor, but one of the standout things, which I think is super cool, is we've got a leather case holding the batteries. I mean, when have you ever seen that before? So I've just dropped by past the Korea mobility stand, and I thought I'd take a look at this because it caught my eye. Very sort of Tron-esque looking bike, and it's called the Como e-bike. Obviously, one of its standout features have to be the hubless wheels. So we've got no hubs there, completely put your arm all the way through. Although I'm told that it is potentially available with a hub motor, and that also means you're going to have airless tyres, which also have an added suspension option. Now, in terms of the motor, it's obviously an e-bike, and it's actually a central mounted motor which offers assistance of up to 250 watts. Now, interestingly, because the wheels have got no hubs, it is obviously only available in a rim brake option. And they say that, though this is actually a prototype at the moment, but if you send a picture across to Career Mobility, they're able to customise the bike to make it fit you perfectly.
Hi, mate.
Oh, how's it going?
Wunderbar. I hope you've had a good time, but we've only just scratched the surface of what's here at Eurobike, so make sure you subscribe to the GCN Tech channel if you haven't already, if you want to see more, as we're going to be, well, finding all the lightweight, wacky, weird and wonderful and aero stuff that's on offer here.
God, I'm looking forward to sharing this stuff with everyone. Yeah, that's going to be incredible.
It's going to be fantastic.
Fantastic.
Time for more hot tech now, and of course, the big news is the launch of the new 12-speed Shimano group sets, both dura-ace and Ultegra. And along with that, there's also the launch of a brand new wheelset range. Now, we have an in-depth video looking at the wheels launching tomorrow, and also we have an in-depth look at the group set, which is already out. Now, Ollie, you are one of the few people in this world to have got your hands on the group set in the real world and actually ridden and used the stuff.
Yeah.
So, how is it?
Well, the biggest thing, that sticks in my mind is just the speed of the shifting. You never thought that old Di2 group sets were slow at shifting, but now it's just so much quicker. And that, I think, is even more impressive when you realise that it's semi-wireless from the shifters. Yeah. It's wireless from the shifters. Yeah. And how quick it is for a wireless group set compared to existing wireless group sets. Yeah. And then the other thing is just, I guess, that it's now 12 speed.
Yeah, big change.
And I think the biggest thing, which is something that hasn't really sunk in yet because people haven't been riding it for extended periods of time, but it's just the improvements that have been made to disc brakes.
Yeah.
So particularly in regards to things like the clearance and the noise of disc brakes. You know, we've seen riders like Chris Froome moan about that, being very vocal about it, but things like increasing the pad clearance and then the way in which the XTR rotors, they cool down quicker according to Shimano, so you don't get that sound.
Yeah, it's really that micro warping, isn't it?
Yeah, you heavy brake, and then you get a bit of rub, and then it cools down again and it stops rubbing. And it's like the rotor expands and shrinks, but yeah, apparently they've improved that.
The group set kind of is all about lots of refinements, isn't it? It's very smart looking. For me, one of the other standout technologies is something called Hyperglide Plus. Now, Hyperglide, of course, has been around for some time, and in fact, we did a very good video, so that was very well received.
We did.
Yeah, we did. And Hyperglide Plus is like the next sort of step and refinement of that. It's really great to see.
Oh, I love Hyperglide, but credit where credit's due, Hyperglide Plus, it's not the first time the world's seen it, it's come from mountain bike.
We've stolen it from mountain bikers.
Yeah, but it allows, it's designed so that it helps the downshifts be smoother as well. It pulls the chain down as well as pulling it up.
Incredible.
Great, isn't it? Love Hyperglide.
Next up, we've got a new Merida Sculptura. This is Merida's lightweight climbing bike, and it's something that we spotted at the Dauphiné earlier this year, and actually, Ollie spotted on the UCI approved frames list earlier. God, you're so good at picking those out, aren't you? How do you get those?
You just go on the UCI website.
I can never pick them out. Anyway, it's called the Sculptura 5, and it's quite an impressive bit of kit, isn't it?
Yes, so it's gone on a diet and got lighter than before, which is really impressive. Merida reckons it's actually 4.4% lighter than the previous Sculptura, which they say in a size medium means it's gone down from 860 grams for the frame down to 822, which is pretty significant and impressive when you consider that it's got slightly more aero tube shapes. Slightly more aero tube shapes are usually a bit heavier, and they say they've achieved this by using higher quality, higher modulus carbon fibre that's lighter and, more improved layup as well.
So speaking of those refined aero shapes, I've got an interesting stat for you here. Merida say that coming in at a 6.7 kilogram build, the new Sculptura is 10 watts faster compared to the old bike that was in a heavier build at 6.9 kilograms. So it's kind of like you've
at
gained
at 45 kilometres an
yeah,
hour.
45 kilometres an hour. So that's like the standardised testing speed, isn't it? So you've kind of gained in both areas, a bit of a win-win situation.
Yeah, well, what's also interesting about that, I mean, that is a significant aero gain. But what's also interesting in their sort of data they published with the new bike is they said that the Reactor, their aero bike we've ridden previously, in a 7.5 kilogram build, so that's with the same top end components and a weight that's possible for that bike, is 17 watts faster than the new Sculptura at 45 kilometers an hour again, which is a lot. And then, you know, that's just 800 grams heavier.
Yeah.
So I think we should have a poll on this, because what would you rather have? Would you rather have a bike that's 17 watts faster at 45 kilometers an hour, or a bike that's 800 grams lighter?
Oh, head over to the GCN now and let us know what your choice would be.
Well, the thing is, maths says.
Don't sway people's answers.
I think people are going to vote for lighter, but maths says that the aero bike, even at 800 grams heavier, is the better all-round solution. That's why I used an aero bike for Tour de Station.
Anyway, so the new bike has got all the usual features that you'd expect to see. So we've got things like integrated cables, we've got drop seat stays. It's pretty cool. And also, something else that I've spotted, which is kind of quite innovative, is a special sort of cooling fin plate around the brake calipers. So this sits between the caliper and the frame, aluminium, and is designed to dissipate some of that heat away from the caliper when you're presumably braking quite hard on mountain descents and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's an interesting feature that I've only seen on Merida's, and is one that Merida brought out on the previous Sculptura, but it's interesting they're still sticking with it. Another new bike, right? It's just teasing us. The new, it's not new, it is new. I don't know. The Orbea, the new Orbea aero bike, we keep seeing at the Vuelta. Yeah. Still there, still not heard anything.
No.
You want to desperately know because you want to find an order, so you can put an order in.
I've already tried, to be honest. I've tried to get my hands on one. It's that new, we can't.
We've asked Orbea.
Yeah.
They're not telling us anything. If you know anything, please write in the comments, tell us what's happening. Orbea aero bike, looks rapid, don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
But it's at the Vuelta.
Yeah. Final bit of hot tech this week. Villa Falante, fantastic bike, and they've actually launched a sort of special edition, limited edition model to tie it in with Shimano's centenary.
Right.
And I've actually got some of the wording off of their Instagram page here, because I read it earlier and thought, do you know what? It just sounds very nice and meaningful. So I'd like to share this with you.
Some nice words for a beautiful location.
So
look at that.
they say, past and present are projected into the future and celebrated in Yun Ino's work through the ancient art of Japanese calligraphy, shodo. A fluid and spontaneous motion, and harmonious and philosophical process that fuses poetry and painting with its rhythm, emotion, aesthetic and spirituality in one unique art form. Wow. It's now time for Screw Riding Upgrades Buy Upgrades, where you submit evidence that you made to your bikes, equipments or cycling lives for the chance to win, quite possibly, the ultimate prize, a GCN water bottle.
Or bead on if you're French or pretentious.
So last week, or Connor, yeah. So last week we had Taylor Priestler's homemade frame bags. Now you missed out on these, they were pretty good, to be fair. Up against Wright WJ8's Trek 1000 respray
close one,
/ restoration. It was a close one, actually. 52% of the votes went to the homemade frame bags.
They were proper cool though.
They were.
I had a look at those in the app. That was serious kudos to those. Well, this week, I'm loving this, right?
Yeah.
So hang on, I've got the phone up. So this is from RSN 28. It says his 14-year-old son had a holiday project, which is good. Rather than let him just go off and just play video games all holiday.
Oh, no.
Put him to work and got him to do something meaningful. Right? He got him this 1948 Rally 4-speed. Look at it, it's down in the dumps. It looks like it's from 1948. It looks like it's just sort of come out of the war.
It may even possibly be older than Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might even be older than Dan, you're right. And, well, what's amazing is he stripped it down He's repainted it. He's put a new saddle on it. And then when you see the before, there's the before. Look at the after now.
I was doing a double take to see if it's even the same bike.
It's amazing. And,
Yeah, it is.
And it's like the chain guard restored on it, and you know, just everything about it just looks absolutely superb.
It does look incredible.
A beautiful looking bike.
There's been a lot of work gone into this, hasn't there?
Yeah, new grips on it and everything. Anyway, RSN28 says that his 14-year-old son is now riding around on it, around town, like he owns the place. Like an absolute baller.
You would be like an absolute boss riding around the town on this.
Like a boss.
Yeah.
Oh, you would. Hey,
Anyway.
fair play to him.
Fair play.
I think he's earned that.
Well, this guy's work cut out because they are up against Jay Lynn. Says they started a new job with poor public transport connections, and then they used their old, unloved steel frame bike, stripped all the components off, built it back up with copper paint and gold fleck finishes, new bottom bracket cranks. Also, they made it single speed with a tri-spoke wheel. Gold chain. Gold chain.
Tri-spoke, that's baller.
Yeah, that is baller. And also, get this right, they're fitted an electric motorised front wheel with a handlebar mounted battery pack. Says it's slightly heavy, but still works well.
Turned it into an e-bike as well.
Yeah, a single speed e-bike.
I noticed something else on there that you'll like. Those white, thick, slick tyres.
Oh, yeah.
You're a fan of those, aren't you?
I am a fan. I just think they're super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you decide which upgrade is best this week. Just click on the link, vote in the app, and we'll reveal the winner next week. Just spotted an issue, Alex. If RSN, the 14-year-old son, does win for that old 1948 rally, there's no bottle cage for the bottle.
Well,
You just have to ride along holding it.
oh, there's a pannier rack.
Oh yeah, strap it to that.
Yeah, only logical thing you could do.
Anyway.
It's now time for the bike vault, where usually we would judge people's bikes to be either nice or super nice.
Still going to do that.
Well, yeah, we are still going to do that, but normally I reach down and get the magic bell from underneath the desk and we ring it. However, we don't have that, so what we'll maybe do is say ring ring, and hopefully the lucky person who edits this video will put a super cool sound effect over the top. Fantastic.
I'll have fun with that.
First up this week, we need to look at what was the most super liked bike vault submission from last week, and how the hell are you featuring in this?
Well,
So
it's
you've
not me
actually-
really. I just took a picture of that, the new Ribble Ultra, which is a spectacular looking bike, especially in that stock paint job it comes in, which I can't remember what that stock paint job's called, but I decided I was going to call it Unicorn Blood, which isn't the official name, it's just what I decided to call it. That has created some confusion. People have been asking Ribble for Unicorn Blood. It's not an actual name, it's just something I made up.
I wish they would call it that.
I think they've missed a trick.
Yeah, they have missed the trick. Right, first submission for this week is from Udan.
We look like a pair of teenagers on our phones.
We do look like I'm actually, apart from the fact I'm old, because I have to really zoom in to read. So it's his first aero road bike, Orbea Orca Aero M20i Team Edition. Lovely painting in the background. There's nice sort of flowers there. I'm having to zoom in to try and check out the valves.
He's not in Biggie Smalls.
No, crank's not aligned.
Look at that rear mech, it's stretched. Nice.
Bars are at a jaunty angle. Yeah.
Next up, we've got The Hag.
Interesting.
Interesting username. Taken in the lost village of Imber on Salisbury Plain.
That's near my house.
Is this you?
No.
And it is a Bianchi Aria Aero. Oh, isn't this the place where they like do military exercises?
Well, I've actually got some information on it because it's near my house. Imber Village was taken over by the military literally forever ago as a training ground. They made all the residents leave and no one's ever returned.
Oh.
Yeah, it's literally an abandoned village and they open it up once or twice a year. Go and visit. Well, there's nothing to visit because no one lives there. Anyway, flat pedals, not in Biggie Smalls, crank's not aligned, valves...
Bottle hanging out of the cage.
Hanging out. Many accessories.
You're hanging out.
Yeah.
You're hanging out, The Hag.
So unfortunately, it's just a nice from me.
Yeah. Next up, Chopster 75, Cornish gravel ride, early morning on a Pinarello gravel on the beach. Oh, come on.
All a bit dark. Crank's not... What's with everyone this week? Crank's not aligned.
No, he's used a stone on the beach to prop it up.
Is that allowed?
That's allowed. That's a pass because he's using like...
Apparently that's allowed.
And he's in Biggie Smalls because he's only got... Yeah.
Valve's not aligned, but I mean, I do like the Pinarello gravel.
I think it's a gravel bike. It's in a gravelly setting.
People always pick us up if we let the rules slide once or twice, but are we going for it? Part of me also wants to just say ring ring and see what sound effect we get.
I'd do it.
Ring ring! Anyway, that'll be interesting. Next up, we've got J Pobs with a 2018 Trek ALR in purple flip.
Oh.
Got SRAM red components on it. That colour is incredible.
That is gold chain as well.
Gold chain, oh God, they're so
Bolt
good.
cage is removed, all his accessories removed. He's in Biggie Smalls, I think maybe not Biggie 11, Biggie
No.
12 or Biggie 13, but it's Biggie, he'll do. I'm happy with that.
I like this bike.
Valves line, that's super nice for me.
It is a super
I love
nice.
the Trek Air, I love aluminium.
Right, it's another super nice. Ring ring!
Yeah.
Next up is Ravi.outlaw saying hello from Sri Lanka.
Polygon Stratus S2.
Ooh, nice. Do you know what, it's quite nice when you see sort of more entry-level spec bikes. You know, bikes available to everyone, people that may be starting out in the sport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
Cranks aligned,
I'm down with
valves
that.
nearly aligned. Apparently, Ollie is down with this, so it's
I'm
going to
going
be another,
super nice.
another ring ring.
Yeah,
Ring ring!
super nice bike.
Last one for this week, we've got Robert
Bailey.
Robert Bailey.
Yes.
What have we got here? Detroit Bikes, Belgium Cruiser.
Not a bike I'm familiar with. Whereabouts has he taken that photo? Liberty Bridge at Falls Park. Oh, in South Carolina. Oh, I've been there.
Well, it's a cool bike. I really like this. I like the fact that we've got sort of tan brown mudguards, saddle and grips.
Do you know what? I'm going to go super nice on that.
We're going to finish on a super nice.
Yeah, we are. We're going to finish on super nice.
God, this is a turn of events. Right, ring ring! that is, sorry, I was laughing at the ring ring. God knows what noise is going to go over the top of that.
They might just keep it as ring ring. You just sound ridiculous.
Yeah, anyway.
There's an old lady over there and she just keeps looking at Alex like he's a mentalist.
Yeah, that happens every week, to be honest. And that is, unfortunately, at the end of the bike bar. It also means we've rounded out this week's GCN Tech Show. It's been incredible. Hope you've enjoyed it. And, well, let us know what you think of some of the fantastic stuff we've featured in this week's show in the comments section down below. And I guess we'll be maybe back in the studio next week. Who knows where we'll be? It's a mystery.
Lads on tour. Whee.